Hey everybody, welcome back to JOJ for the month of October.
Yep.
Yeah. We've had our live last week.
Yep. And it's a brand new start for JOJ this time.
Yeah.
So last week we explained that we were going to pick a word of the month, and
then however many Sundays there are, that's how many we'll do. So October actually has 5 Sundays.
Yep.
So we have the live on our first one, but then we've got 4 more weeks to cover our topic for this month. Like we said, it's integrity.
Yep. And then each week will be different.
Each week will be a new subtopic.
Fancy.
That's kind of what we're going with that. Subtopic under integrity. So, we'll gonna roll in. I guess we need to open with the definition. Integrity, noun, the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness. We all kind of have in our own mind a little bit of what we think of when we think of something being, of something having integrity. I think a good example of that is a well-built building. I think of a looking at a house that's complete. Yeah. That's done well. I think that is a good example of integrity. But then
our subtopic.
Yes.
Subtopic for this week is going to be having integrity in your job and or school, because we've got viewers that are young and old. So
you call people old.
Well, I'm old, so it's fine.
But in your job life and your school life, what integrity looks like in those is kind of what we want to talk about. But we got 2 verses. Proverbs 19:1. Better is a poor person who walks in his integrity than one who is crooked in speech and is a fool.
Okay, and the other one we did was Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men.
I've always liked that verse.
Yeah.
We've used that one in a lot of stuff before.
Yeah, a lot of stuff before, and I think we use that a lot with the kids on, whether they're school, sports, whatever. I'm like, as long as you're, doing it for the Lord, then it doesn't matter what the outcome is, win or lose.
Yeah. With school, it's easy to look at, especially with us having kids, all 3 of them being in school, for them to see at times, and that kind of takes us back to when we were in school, and the opportunity to do things where you would maybe sacrifice your integrity
a little bit,
whether that's with friendships, with your, with other people, or obviously schoolwork.
Yeah, I think now that's a really big thing. As far as it's so easy and accessible to be like, hey, I did this homework sheet, so I'm gonna take a picture of it, send it to you. And I mean, it's just way too easy. Or they can FaceTime. There's no evidence of a picture. It's just.
Are you telling children how to cheat?
No, but
they already know.
They already know. That's where integrity comes in. you gotta try to not go down that path, and kind of like. I don't feel like we've had to worry about that too much with the twins yet. They've not quite got to that point, but obviously with middle and high school, it's a little more accessible for those kids. And I know I've said to Abby, I'm like, listen, you can. I mean, I know it's easy. Like if you don't do your sheet and she does, or you do it, and you're sharing the answers or whatever. But at the end of the day, you're not learning it, and so when you take a test, it's going to be awful. It's going to show up somewhere. And you might think it's something that small is not a big deal, but something that small turns into, well, if I can lie about doing my homework, then I can lie about what I said, or I can lie about where I've been. Like it just kind of snowballs. It just kind of grows because it gets easier with each little lie that you tell. And so, and if you're doing that all through your school, then obviously when you get older and have a job, it can snowball into your job of little white lies, and
definitely catch up to you at that point, and have snowballed into a much bigger thing.
And they can have great consequences.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I know a lot, you get caught cheating or anything like that, I mean, it's an automatic 0. You can't make it up. You're done. And then you have that reputation of being a cheater.
And that's something that we've tried to make sure that the kids are that aware of. They get one chance at that. I mean, they get one shot at their reputation within their teachers because, well, just because they went from 5th grade to 6th grade, it doesn't wipe the slate clean.
No, especially at our school.
Especially at our school. 5th grade teacher talks to the 6th grade teacher, and so they know what's coming up. You know, I mean, so that's you really get one shot at that.
Yeah.
And that's your peers that you're with. You know, in school, you may work with them in the future, you may not, but that enough is going to follow you around to where that your integrity is. It kind of is a one-time deal.
Yeah. And you have to, you know, and once you go down that path, you got to kind of rebuild who you are and prove that you're not that person.
Yeah.
You know, which is obviously definitely doable, but it's just, you know, and I think that's a hard thing, especially for kids. I feel like as adults, it's a little easier to feel convicted because we're probably a little, you know, we're definitely more secure in our faith now than what we were at 15, 16. And so, you know, I think with that comes maturity. But, you know, just trying to learn that as young people and instill that into our kids that, you know, if you carry, you know, yourself in a high standard now, that'll continue on as you get older as an adult as well.
Yeah, it just becomes your natural way of doing things.
Yeah.
You don't have to, it's not a learned process.
Yeah.
It just is who you are.
Yeah.
And that's definitely what you want to strive for sure. And that, you know, I mean, well, school is where we learn how to deal with people.
Yep.
You know, for the most part, that's where we learn how to deal with other individuals, a lot of different personalities. You know, that's our first as young people. That is our first experiment in that.
Yeah.
But that is our first experiment in public. You know, for in a lot of ways, we're dealing with a lot of people, a lot of different personalities. Is in school, and it takes a while to learn that. You know, to learn who you can deal with, how much you can deal with some people, how to get away from some people some of the time. And it certainly does as you move into your job. That definitely carries there. Just in fishing, kind of a little behind the scenes in that. You know, we've got a pretty big rule book.
Just a little bit.
It's got a lot of different stuff, and a lot of the stuff, if you watch live or watch the shows or whatever, with the official in the boat, there's a lot of stuff that, I mean, he's a referee anymore. Where before, when we had a marshal in the boat, he was there to watch.
Yeah.
It'd be no different than Jenny going and riding with me or riding with it.
Yeah.
She called him.
I didn't study the rule. I wouldn't have studied the rules or anything. I just would have been there for the experience.
Just to be there for the experience. That's all it was. Those people weren't there to enforce anything. They were just there to ride along and experience it. Our boat officials are there to call the game. They call the weight. They serve the penalties, all those type of things. So they have a lot more responsibility. But there are a lot of rules that can take place that they would never be aware of. Namely, the biggest thing in bass fishing is information.
Oh yeah,
you know, that's certainly.
I was trying to figure out where you were going with that.
That's certainly the biggest thing where you can have a problem. And we have very strict rules written around what kind of information is legal to get, not legal to get, when you can get it, you know, all those type of things. Even amongst competitors, there's only so much certain things that we're allowed to talk about, to the point of the fact that we are enforced with a polygraph test by our own choice. As anglers, as a whole, we've decided that we want to have a polygraph test to make sure that the integrity of the game is being upheld by all 80 of us on the Bass Pro Tour. So. But yeah, so that's a big thing with our job. My job is the integrity of the game, and as enforceable as a lot of that is, you know, with the polygraph, it's still, you know, a lot of that comes down to you. Are you willing to push it? Are you willing to risk it? And then, you know, are they going to catch you? Are they not? Yeah. What's the punishment going to be? You know, I mean, is it so? You weigh it out. Would the punishment be worth it?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's you have to weigh out that and just know that you're going to play the game. You're going to worry about the integrity over your own personal success and make sure that you play it the right way, because it will, at some point, catch back up with you.
Yeah. You know, and I think too, everybody's different, and so like I know if gosh, I feel like if I were to do something that were like that, because I'm a rule follower at heart, and I feel like if I'm like intentionally doing something to not follow that, like I won't sleep.
Yeah.
Like I'll feel so just convicted and guilty. I will not sleep. And so, I mean, I'm like that about everything. Taxes, all of it. Like I wish I could be a rule breaker on that. Wish I could find a way around it. But, you know, but I mean, just like little things that, you know, most people would be like, oh, it's, you know, it's fine. Like it's better for you, or, you know, but no.
Yeah.
I don't sleep at night.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll do the verses again just to recap. Proverbs 19:1. Better is a poor person who walks in his integrity than one who is crooked in speech and is a fool.
Yep. And Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men. Yeah. I send you that one a lot before tournaments sometimes.
Yeah, I like that one. I like to work heartily. It's good motivation to know that I'm doing it for the Lord and not for me. So.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, thank y'all for watching.
Yeah.
Come back next week. We will have another. We won't say what it is.
Well, they already know it's integrity. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
But next week's subtopic will be integrity in your marriage.
See you then.
Yep.